parade part 2. Today is still January the 6th and it's still Monday, and I have the rest of my 2025 WIP Go WIPs to show you, and a little bit of stash enhancement and one gift, just to keep things, you know, just to keep it fun. I've switched out my water for coffee. Well, I haven't switched out my water, still right there. I'm really thirsty today. I made chicken noodle soup for dinner last night, and I think I may have made it just a little bit too salty because I didn't think so at the time, but I'm really thirsty today. So it's also very dry here. We were supposed to get a big snowstorm this weekend, and it all dissipated, they said, because of how dry it was. So kind of wild. Anyway, let's get to it. I just wanted to show you this beauty. Isn't that gorgeous? In the back, the buttons, so pretty. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Makes me so happy. That was a gift from a friend for Christmas. So, okay, I have a little bit of stash enhancement, and it's not that I don't always have stash enhancement. I generally do, but this is the last kind of little bit of anything that I've bought, and I've really tried pretty hard not to buy. I'm trying to think if I've bought any PDFs. I may have bought some PDFs, but I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not putting myself on a diet of, well, maybe that's the thing. I'm not completely not allowing myself to buy charts, kits, etc. I'm just putting myself on a diet. How's that? But right after, or I think I actually ordered these before Christmas, and then they came right after Christmas. I have put off buying this chart. I've been drawn to it from day one. I have a whole bunch of I don't stitch a lot of patriotic, but I have a few things, and I'm literally biting my tongue to not say what I want to say, but I'm not. I'm going to keep that out of my floss tube. Don't do a lot of patriotic. I do have a few things, and I have a bunch of small embroidered flags or flag type things. And I saw this and I loved it from the minute I saw it. It's called Faded Flag by October House. And everybody has seen it. I don't know, there's just something about it that's really cool. And this is stitched on 36 count, and on 36 count it says it's about 8 1/4 by 1 1/2, so it's super tiny, but about 8 1/4. I mean, so that's probably about true to size, right? And I don't know, I have some ideas, like it'd be fun to stitch it really tiny. It'd be fun to stitch it kind of on big, what is that, 10 count? I mean, you could just do all kinds of things with it. I don't know, I finally gave in and got it because I kept seeing it and I loved it. So, and then I am collecting most all of the Animal Cracker series, and this one, and there's maybe one or two that I just don't care for that I won't get, but this one I absolutely loved, called Dr. Raven. That is so, and his little lantern. Oh, she is just, Stacy is just, is that who it is? Yeah, Stacy Nash. For a second I was thinking Not Forgotten Farms, because I have something else here, Not Forgotten Farms. And then Bones, the cat, with his little fish. I don't know, I saw this and I just loved it. This is called Stitchy Love. This is by Crafty Bluebonnet Designs. I've never heard of them before, but I thought that was really neat. That would be a fun gift for a friend. That may be my, besides the February weigh-in, that might be my one Valentine that I stitched this year. Then I'm also collecting the little smalls from Not Forgotten Farm, and this is Cookie Claus. So Mrs. Claus, and these pictures never do the charts justice. But last year I did Uncle Sam and the bunny, And then I have Santa Claus and oh, and did I do the, I can't remember if I did the St. Patrick's, the leprechaun, but I have it if I didn't do it yet. And then it's completely over Christmas, and I'm pretty sure I had seen this. I don't know. I'll be really honest with you. I may even own this. And I didn't kit it up or anything. And if I own it, I'll do it as a giveaway. But I love anything with Santa flying over a village. And this is called To All a Good Night by Hello from Liz Matthews. And I absolutely love that. It's rare to find something with all, is that 10 reindeer? That's very, very rare. Yeah, because it's 9 plus Rudolph is up there. And I love her Santas, and yeah, this is really neat how this is done down here as well. Anyway, so a little bit of stash enhancement. Other than the Valentine one, no real plans to start that anytime soon. Okay. This is super heavy. I'm trying to think what this is. This has to be some kind of, yeah. This is the Home Together series. So this is just back to WIP Go. Things that are on my WIP Go boards for 2025. I don't know if I don't think I've shown you these. I saw these on somebody's FlashTube channel this last year. I ordered them all, kitted them up, and September 24th. Started them, and it looks like I worked on them for one day. Yeah, one day. These are the Home Together series. There are 6 in this series by Jeanette Douglas, and I will show them all to you because I have the paper patterns. I don't know if these are in order or not, but there must be more than 6 here. Anyway, Home is Where Your Heart Is. Home is the Place to Be. Home is with you, I am home. Bless our home. East or west, home is best. I might replace that with a chicken. For some reason, I thought that had a chicken. And it's fine that it doesn't, but that I could do that. There's No Place Like Home. So that's the first 6. I love that one with the bird in the birdhouse. And then there are, oh, and then there's a whole other series. That's right. These are called Sew Together. And this is samplers and pins and needles and scissors and threads. Flax and linen, that's one of my favorites. Isn't that pretty? Those colors, oof. Buttons and bows, that's really pretty too. Ribbons and trims. And letters and numbers. And silks and wools. So somebody showed those right up my alley. I'm probably gonna do 2, I don't know how I'll do them. I could actually see me doing individual ones of the sewing ones for friends. As a matter of fact, I have 2 birthdays coming up, and I was trying to think of what I wanted to do. So see, that's where I'm gonna get derailed with WIP Go is birthday gifts. Or, whatever, Christmas or birthday or whatever. I don't think I gave any Christmas stitching gifts this year. I made one scarf for a friend for her birthday that we're celebrating next week. Her birthday was in December, but that's okay. If that's what derails me, that's fine, because I'm still stitching. I'm still, I'm still, yeah, like I don't care. I don't care if that's what derails me. Anyway, the sew together ones, yeah, I could see me doing those individually. In fact, all of a sudden I think that's what I might do. But this is, I started with Home is Where Your Heart Is, #1 in the Home Together series. And this is apparently one day's work, and yeah. So those are gorgeous. And I don't think those are on WIP Go more than one time. So yeah, not gonna get a lot of work, but the threads, oh, and it's all, I believe, yeah, it's all Classic Colorworks and Simply Shaker threads. So I think I ordered it from 123 Stitch. They had everything, pretty sure. Okay, it's gonna be hard to figure out where to put these. My last group was in a basket. These are in a cabinet. I mean, right next to each other. Okay, somebody showed these. Oh, and I need to show that with that. Somebody showed this pattern. I don't remember who it was. It might have been, I don't know if it was Sherry at Colorado Cross Stitcher. I don't know. But they're these patterns by unabuenapieza.com. Let me hold this up. unabuenapieza.com. And they all look kind of like this. And this kind of a pattern always floats my boat. No pun intended. Always floats my boat. I love this. I love this kind of a pattern where you just have all these little different motifs, and it's almost like a, it's almost like a Where's Waldo or a search. What are those pictures called? Those where you have to search for things in the picture. I don't know. I just think it's neat, and I love the whole sea life thing, and yeah. So I bought, I don't know, like 3 or 4. I bought the Halloween one. It was right around Halloween. So I bought the Halloween one. I bought this one. I may have bought a Christmas one, and I may have bought one that is just like year round. In the summer, I have a whole little vignette over there of kind of like sea things. And I have a whole bunch of charts started. Some finished, but some just started, and I think this would go over there, but I probably need to move it and put it someplace else because I'm kind of running out of room over there. But isn't that neat? Anyway, how far did I get? Oh, not very far at all. Didn't put a stitch card in here. This was something kind of fun though. I've been running out of what are these? Floss drops. And Pam at Stitching Between the Lines said that she buys cheap cards when she travels, cheap playing cards when she travels, and uses those for floss cards. And they're great because I had been using old calendar pages, and I've noticed that they rip kind of easily. And so these are great because they don't rip. And, just these came from, I don't know, these came from Scotland or Ireland or somewhere. Have I talked to you since we went on our trip? Anyway, this is my very meager, I think I started at the bottom. Yeah, I started at the bottom. So there's my very meager start. But isn't that pretty? Ugh, so gorgeous. I don't think I talked to you before we went to, or since we went to Scotland and Ireland. Did I talk to you about that? It was wonderful. I fell in love with Scotland. We looked at property there. We won't move there. We have children here. I won't leave my kids, and I won't leave my pets or my property here, but boy, it was tempting. It's phenomenal. The people. Oh, it was a wonderful trip. Okay, Hawthorne Hill sampler. I went through a big rosewood. Let's see if I have a stitch card in here. Nope. I ran out of stitch cards, and then when I reordered them, I didn't go back and fill up my projects that didn't have them. I absolutely love this. It's Karen Kluba. I think she's a genius. And I think this is so pretty. And so I started this, and I worked on this multiple days. It's an opalescent, as you can see, and it's just striking. So pretty, so pretty. It actually, I feel like maybe that's better. It like you can really see it in person. The sparkles are kind of detracting from it, but in person it doesn't, they don't detract. But isn't that gorgeous? Oh, that's another one I want to get back to. So pretty. And that's a combination of Weeks Dye Works, and it looks like I have a DMC in here as well. So lots of just gorgeous colors. I don't think that made more than one day on WIP Go though. So that's just gonna be a long term, you know, unless I start working on it and I just love it so much and I can't put it down. That's why I think 5 days is gonna be kind of nice, because you know, 5 days is enough to, if I get enough stitching in on those 5 days, is enough to really get into a project and have some fun with it. But you know, and then maybe by the end of that 5 days you're kind of getting tired of it, and so you can move on to something else. I don't know, we'll see. I will insert a picture of this here, but it's basically, it's a chicken calendar, and so it's 12 blocks. Each block is a different month, and this particular October block is chickens. I mean, all the blocks are chickens, but this is pumpkins and chickens. So it's just a calendar. It's just a, I think it's called like a monthly chicken calendar. It's just very cute. Did I show you that? Yeah, that's Hawthorne. Okay, this is a long-term project that I've had forever, and it is one, and did I put this? I feel like I put this on multiple times. I'm starting to feel like I've said that too much. Like I couldn't have put that many projects on multiple times, but I don't know, we'll see. This is Reflet de Soie Eau Marie, and that's the original. And I don't think there's a picture of the is there a picture of the reconfigured? I don't believe there is. Molly West is who inspired me on this years and years and years ago. And I'm pretty sure this was a restart too, but I hadn't gotten very far. And then I restarted it. No idea what this fabric is, but it's very lovely. And of course I folded it right down the middle. I don't really like to iron things a whole bunch, you guys, because I don't think that's great for the threads. But so her face is done. Molly, I think, only did Marie. I'm sure that's the Virgin Mary, or I figure it is the Virgin Mary. I think Molly only did Marie, and I intend to do the whole chart. But we'll see. But yeah, isn't she gorgeous? Ugh. I love this one, and I think of Mary as blue for whatever reason. I mean, like her gown is blue, and that's kind of that she is blue. Yeah, blue and white. But I love all the roses and the. Yep, I think that is stunning. I would love to get that done. I would love to get that done this year. That's one of my older WIPs. I've had that for a long time. It seems like. Okay, another Owl Forest, but another gift. So started this years ago. I'll put a picture of it. I have the PDF, so I'll put a picture of it below. I don't know if it's called Turtles. I think it is. Maddie, when she was in high school, went to somewhere in South America, and she took a lot of trips. I don't remember if this was Guatemala. I don't remember where she went, but they worked with sea turtles. Costa Rica, maybe. And she has a huge affinity for sea turtles. So when I saw this, when this came out, I knew I wanted to make it for her. Now, I have a little story about this, and it's kind of like the turtles go every which way, all the way around. And I do have the owl forest threads for this, and they're lush. But this is really weird. So I don't know if it's because, I don't know if it's in my head, or if it's because of the Quaker-esque-ness of it. But I get I get dizzy and kind of nauseous. It sounds like I'm insane when I work on this. And the first time it happened, I didn't think it was this. I just thought something was wrong, and I put it down and, you know, walked away from it. And the next day I went back to it, and the same thing happened. And I think it's happened every time I've spent, you know, if I only spend 15 or 20 minutes, then no, it doesn't happen. But if I spend any length of time stitching, I do. It's the weirdest thing. And I can almost feel it coming on now just looking at it. I love it. I think Maddie will love it. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to finish that. I don't know. It's so weird. It's so bizarre. If you guys know, okay, if I'm nuts, you can tell me I'm nuts. I was watching Cam the Stitcher and earlier today, and she was doing her WIP parade for 2025, and she said at the beginning of it, she kind of did like a, you know, one of those like not warning, but like basically she just said, if you have a negative comment about my WIPs, I'll delete it. She's like, I'll delete it. So don't bother. Just go on to a different video. Like, nobody's forcing you to watch my videos. If you have a negative comment. And I thought about that. I was like, oh, I wonder if I should say that. But you guys never have negative comments. And if you did, if anyone did, like none of you guys would, but if somebody did have a negative comment, I would just delete it. I've had to delete negative comments before. Although I haven't had terrible ones, but yeah, I've had a couple. But in this case, if you think I'm crazy, I feel like I'm talking to Nicole specifically on this. So, if you think I'm crazy, it's okay. You can let me know. I'm curious. Is it just me, or can projects truly make you dizzy and nauseous? Because literally, I could feel it coming on as I was showing that to you. It's so weird. Or is that a thing that if you get dizzy and nauseous for whatever reason and you're working on something, does every time you go back to work on that, do you get dizzy and nauseous? Like, it might just be that. And then, I mean, then yeah, it's in my head, but I'm not like insane. It's just, my point is, if you want to, I genuinely want to know what you think. And if it is, you're nuts about that, that's fine. Don't say I'm nuts about my WIPs, because I don't care what you think about my WIPs. I love my WIPs. So this is Silent Night. This is Stitching with the Housewives. This is probably my favorite chart of theirs of any. I absolutely love this. I cannot believe it's not done. I want this to be a finish this year. And if it's not a finish, like if it doesn't get called on WIP Go before July, it's going to be, because I'll still do Christmas in July at some form of it. It will be my focus for July because I want this done. It's gorgeous. I love this. And this fabric, my big holdup is the dark fabric, but this really isn't too bad. And it's kind of one of those that once you work on it for a little bit, it gets easier. Anyway, I love that. I want that done. I want that in my house for next Christmas. Oh, okay. Here is this was my first ever fairy tale piece. And it's actually a nursery rhyme, I think. Yeah. But I originally started this for my kitchen. When we still lived at our old house, and I was going to turn I was going to turn the accents in my kitchen to red, and then I never did that because we moved, and I don't want red accents here. But this is Shakespeare's Peddler, Queen of Hearts. And this is an old chart, and I just love it. And this was the first thing that made me think, ooh, I could do like a storybook, fairy tale, whatever wall. Now, I've decided to change this for no other reason than I just want it to be done, and I've drawn it out way too long. The kitchen was the thing that I most liked with it, and so I think what I ended up doing is taking out, I put the Queen of Hearts in, yeah. So I took out, she made some tarts all on a summer's day. I took those 2 lines out just as the Queen of Hearts, and then I moved up this border. So it's going to be rather small. So all I have left is the borders, because the whole kitchen, I believe, is, yeah, the whole kitchen is done. Everything is done in the kitchen. But look at all the detail. I mean, I guess there's not a lot of detail, but you get the bookshelf. Like you see all the cookbooks, and I just think it's really pretty. I just really love it. So I know I said Alice would probably be my first, but maybe I feel like I'll work on this for a day or two and it will be done when it gets called. And, so this should be the first for my fairy tale wall, but yeah, because I don't really think there's a place in my kitchen here that I would put it. Yeah, I don't think so. Look at this gorgeous project bag. Isn't that so pretty? I don't know what's in here, but that is a gorgeous project bag. Oh yeah, I saw that Pam at Stitching Between the Lines was working on this today. I'll insert a picture of it because I don't think I have a picture of it. No, I don't. I have the PDF. This is another Al Forrest embroidery. This is Treasure Island. I had never read Treasure Island. I've seen various plays about Treasure Island. As a matter of fact, my son directed his school's one act, did a version that he directed this last fall, did a version of Treasure Island, and they actually took second place at their district. I can't remember if it was district or conference competition, the highest that their school has ever done. He's only been directing it for a couple years. Anyway, I am listening to the original Treasure Island. Robert Louis Stevenson, right? Am I right about that? Now I'm questioning that, but I think that's right. I'm listening to the original version of it on Audible when I, because on Audible, classics are free. It's true. I'm also listening to the original, not when I stitched this, but just in general, to the original Hamlet, because I had never read that. And I have read different books that were technically Hamlet, like modern books based on Hamlet, that kind of thing. I'd read a couple of those this year, and I thought, I've never read Hamlet, so I'm going to read Hamlet. I mean, I've seen it, and I know the story, but I've never, actually, so I'm listening to it. But anyway, I'm listening to Treasure Island while I stitch this. It's really fun. It's a lot like Alice in Wonderland, where it's, the little motifs, and you get them done, and you feel like you have, I have a little bit more of this done over here, too. This is going to be another one. This was a restart as well. I hadn't gotten very far, but I ordered the PDF and started it with the DMC conversion, and then I said, no, I want the Al Forrest threads, and so I ordered the Al Forrest threads and had to wait for those to get here. Those took a little while, and so restarted it on this lovely piece of fabric, which I don't know if I have what that is. It might be Al Forrest fabric. No, I don't know. But anyway, that's a lot of fun. I think that's only on there one time, so that won't be a finish this year. But if I can get Alice done this year, then that'll, then maybe next year I can concentrate on Treasure Island. Okay, I love this, and I never work on it, and I don't understand why. I do not understand why. this is Big City Christmas by Country Cottage Needleworks. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's, I don't know how many charts, a bunch. But there's a toy store, there's a hotel, there's, I mean, whatever. It's needle, department store, it's all kinds of things. And I started it, and it's like, it reminds me of kind of a 1950s Christmas, like 1950s city. I would say 50s or maybe 60s, that, I don't know, really because of the buildings, I'm saying that. And then that taxi, don't you think like 50s or maybe 60s, huh? Maybe, or early 70s? I don't know. I'm trying to think when taxis were round like that, yellow. Anyway, I changed, and I know I showed this to you eons ago. Only the first one is done. And I don't know, I think it just says department store on the original chart. I changed it to Denver Dry Goods because that was well, there were two. There was the Denver Dry Goods, and then there was the Madian F. And I worked at the Denver Dry Goods when I was in high school. I worked in the men's department, and I loved that job. I wasn't able to work there for very long, but because I worked there this summer between my junior and senior year in high school, and once school started my senior year, I was taking more classes than I had time for, so I had a independent study class that met before the school day started, and then I did not have a lunch hour, and so I couldn't work. I didn't work much that year. Did I work? Anyway, I don't know. But anyway, it was a really neat department store. I don't think it exists anymore. We have in Omaha a store similar to that, where it's like an independently owned one, there's only one of them, called Von Mar. And it's my favorite place to shop here because it just reminds me, and it has a piano in it, and somebody's usually playing the piano, and they decorate it beautifully at Christmas time. And it's just a neat, it's like 3 stories, and it's just a neat store. So anyway, that's all I have. And I scooched all the way over here and stitched a little bit of the beginning of that taxi. And it's on this really stiff, like natural linen, but I love it. I don't know why I don't work on it. I don't know. I know what's in here, and this makes me sad. Another really pretty project bag. This is So Much to Love bag. This is the very first, I think the very first ever, or at least the first I knew of, Modern Folk Embroidery stitch along, and it was the 2020 A Family Patchwork sampler. So will look like this at some point. Sarah has hers finished. It's gorgeous. This is the only thing I am using, the 12 weight silky threads. Again, it's 1 over, so I don't love it, but it's fine. This is being stitched on 30 count pecan shortbread. And, oops, it's like this. I started at the top. That's how much I have done. Not very much. I do enjoy stitching this. I really, really do. And I love it. I think it's gorgeous. And I love red work. And I love all the different motifs, but it's just one of those things that I don't stitch. I should make this my thread of the day, my 1 thread a day, or however that goes. I should do that. But it's funny. I get up in the morning and I stitch pretty much first thing. I make coffee, and I straighten up and put away dishes that are in the drying rack, or if we ran the dishwasher the night before, I put those away. But feed the dog, I do that kind of stuff. But I do stitch right off the bat, but I always am in the mood for something. I'm in the mood to stitch what I was working on the night before, or I'm in the mood to stitch the new thing that I need to stitch today, or whatever. And I just I don't stick with a thread of the day. I don't know what this is. Oh, yeah. I enabled Pam stitching between the lines to stitch this, and she finished it. And here it is. This is, oh man, I always forget. I think it's, oh, it just went right out of my head. Darn it. And now all I can think of is Modern Folk Embroidery, and that's not who it is. And Pam's screaming at the TV right now, probably. Anyway, it's Christmas carols, and there's, I don't know, 12 or 9 or 8 or something, and they go really quick. I don't know why I have all these threads, I'm sorry. They go really quick. I got the first 2 done, and then, yeah, this guy doesn't have a head right here. And I love this, and it's right on the tip of my tongue who the designer is. I'll put a picture of it and you'll know the designer, but I love that. Anyway, see, I don't think it's this designer. This is Little Dove Designs, and this is, I love calendars, and I've told you that before, and I love stitched calendars, and this is Little Dove's Year, and it's sweet. It's sweet. I love all of those little, and what do I have done? Oh, I have stuff done, but this is on a piece of even weave, which is interesting because I don't stitch on even weave very often, but I don't mind this at all. Gonna be big. So see, I always want to stitch, I'm sorry, this is so unwieldy. I always want to stitch in the, the month that I'm in. And so I stitched this like probably last fall. And then I wanted to stitch Halloween at Halloween, and I got started on Halloween, but then it was spring again, and I stitched up here, and then I wanted to outline this. This was probably November. Anyway. Not November, November. So it was probably November when I got it out, and I wanted to stitch November, so I started on this, and then a squirrel came, and anyway, August is done, and that's cute. Yeah, I don't know. So, it's on the WIP Go board, I think only once, and if I get 1 block done, I get 1 block done, and that's 1 block more than I have done now, so that's okay. Okay, I don't know what's in this old project bag that, oh yeah, I do. This is, I talked about this in my last video, as a matter of fact. This is White Christmas, and I'm not sure why it's called White, well, it's called White Christmas because there's snow, but it's a country Christmas scene with different buildings and moose in the streets and, whatever. I grew up in Colorado, so there's a lot of elk in Colorado, but I think those are moose. It's by Sarah Grumani. She has a ton of these. I have a couple different ones. I love all her little village pieces. I love this. It's beautiful. I didn't work on it at all this year. I bought it last summer and worked on it this summer, and then beautiful piece of fabric. Yeah. But we'll get to it. Okay, Sarah, So Me Sarah, and Jackie at Comfort Stitching are doing a sew along or a stitch along or a start along with this. I think it's called the 4 Seasons. Barbara Anna Designs. Lots of people are working on this right now. Cam is doing it like in the season, and so she finished the fall and she's working on winter, and it's neat. She's doing their faces according to the season. So she did her face in kind of a woody floss, and she did her face in kind of a very pale lavender purple. So it's really neat how she's doing their faces. I'll be interested to see what she does for spring and summer. I started this eons ago. I remember starting it at a farm girl retreat, and that's how far I got. And so I threw this, since everyone's doing it right now, and it's a stitch along, I threw it on my WIP Go. So we'll see when that comes out. But I think those are really neat. They all have, so, you know, if you look at their skirts all have a little village in them. And you know me, I'm a sucker for a little village. So pretty. Really, really pretty. So, okay, we're almost to the bottom. I have another Mira, or this might be, yeah, this is a Mira. This is a Mira that I started, it's called Tree of Hope. Reminded me of my girls. I started it, I don't know when, a long time ago. So pretty, those blues. This color here in the skirt is probably my favorite blue in the whole world. I love that. That tree, oh, gorgeous. I haven't gotten this out in eons. Let's see how much I have done. Oh, I started in the tree. Interesting. Big old piece of fabric, another piece of natural, and you know, not a bad start in the tree, but yeah. So again, it'll be, you know, if I get 5 days on it, or who knows. I was gonna say I had one more, but I think this is something I just threw in there because I didn't know what, yeah, that is not a WIP. Okay, that's it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and call it good, put everything away, try to get these edited, and then hopefully still get some stitching in yet today. I hope you're all well. I hope that you had happy holidays and starting the year off with lots of stitching and all good things. And hopefully I'll be back here before too long, maybe in about a month, maybe a little longer, hopefully right around then. But for now, take care and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.